Okay, thank you. Let's just start our lecture today. We have quite a few things to discuss and to present. First, thank you for submitting your group assignment on time. I really appreciate it. Now, it's time for each group to present their reason or justification for building the system instead of outsourcing or buying. Okay, let's start with group one. Tabitha and Rahma. Is Tabitha joining us? I'll call her. Okay, so Tabitha is not here yet. Okay, Rahma, are you ready to present?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Go on.
Previously, I'm sorry that I can't share the word.
Mhm.
I just continuously want to speak.
Okay, sure.
So, from the assignment that you've given to us, we prefer to entrust people in terms of developing this application system,
Mhm.
just like Alibaba, the owner of Alibaba.
Okay.
Um, he doesn't have the ability and knowledge in information technology.
Mhm.
So at the end, he hires the people who expert in it, in that field, to work to him like that.
Okay. So the reason was to can you repeat the reason again?
Basically, the reason is like we are not really from the information technology field,
Mhm.
so we hire the people who expert in that field to work with us like that.
Okay. Well, that's actually the definition of outsourcing. The one that I ask you to do is to justify why you as a group will develop it, not hiring other people. Okay. So
Oh,
if you decided to hire, that means
yeah,
outsourcing.
I thought that you have two options and we
No,
have to choose
just
one.
one, just one. Because you will develop the system. That's otherwise, if it's outsourced, then your uh, your journey in this class will stop here. Okay, you will develop. Okay. Okay. So there's that. Okay, group two. Group two.
Yes.
Okay, go on.
Okay. So our group uh, tends to build our system development because for the maintenance cost for a long time, it will be more uh, more uh, because of the because if we outsource the teams, so if there's any trouble in the future for a long period, that there will be take more cost, even though that at the first it uh, state that if we outsource uh, teams, that it will make the price lower. But our group think about uh, if we want to make a system, there will be uh, another another that we will include more in the application or the system, and we need IT development in our teams, so we can uh, change or uh, get the newest system or application for our team and we can control our worker for our system. And yeah, that's it. Maybe Erin or Ivana can add more explanation about it.
Sir, am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. So I will telling about the what if in-house system is still have the weakness, but it's still okay. So
Okay.
the weakness of the in-house system, there are two. The first one is high cost. Okay, we are admit that if we buying if we make it also will higher the cost because it still need to we still need to money to employees hire the employees and have the technician teams, and also must pay the salary or have the trial and error. That's why we cannot that's why most of the people they don't want to take a risk for that. But we think we are using the outsourcing or using in-house software development is also cost a lot of money. But it's still better if we use the in-house development. Like we know because the software is uncertain, so because we know that no one the software is certain in the future, so it also still occurs many problems if you using outsourcing or in-house development. But we see in outsourcing situations we cannot able to oversee anything that agency does, so they may cut corners during production and we risk losing control of the project. The worst scenario is we end up with an unstable platform. So, like in worst case scenario, the platform may break, but no one other developer can understand the code that has even been written. So at the end of the day, we still need a more money, a more cost,
Okay.
huge capital to recover losses than in-house development. And then also, even if certain software development company, many companies that promise our instant like okay you get the low cost or anything, but we think the software production is only want to make the profit, right? So like most of company they will put their company above our business needs. So just according to a global outstanding survey by Deloitte, most of the companies using outsourcing as a cost-cutting tool. So if we decide to offshore, if we want to get the cheapest IT provider, there are also the risks like we have to consider about the communication issues, culture clash, and low quality of work. And then the second one, it is about the time. We know if we want to build the in-house system, it is have the time to code persuasion with the IP, and then also give the comfortable to the IP, and then need to persuade them to join our team. But within in-house system and then the outsourcing, it is also need the skill of persuasion. But it's better if we using the in-house system because we still have the control over the technicians. Like you see, if the in-house system, the technicians is still under our control. It's still our subordinates, so they still relying on us. They still relying on us, so they still more likely will hear from us to get money. So at the end, we still have the control with them. But it is different when they are when we are buying other system because they are not relying on us. So because they are not relying on us, most of them they are unlikely to want to cooperate with our company goals. So it still be harder and take more time to cooperate. Okay, we still in the best case, even if the technicians they want to cooperate with us, but still took more time because if we want to create if you want to have the cooperations to outsourcing, it still need the communications barrier, like from the dialects, pronunciation, so on and so forth. So it still can create the barriers. So communication barriers, it still can lead to the failure to understand the scope or an increased time to the market. So it's still the higher cost. So if we use in-house system, the technicians still in our company, but the communications barrier are not as big as the outsourcing. And then, but based on the weakness of using in-house software development, the weakness is still acceptable because based on the researchers that have been read, there are also some information systems that don't work because they require more funds than previously thought. Like example, IBM lost a major outsourcing project when JP Morgan Chase and Co. canceled the remainder of its 7-year IT contract with IBM. So JP Morgan wanted to bring their IT infrastructure management home. So even IBM was never formally accused of failing its contractual obligations, JP Morgan still spent $1 million to resemble the IT system. That's all from, and then also it not only affects big corporations. That means not all cases that use outsourcing can reduce the cost and considerations about time. So in our opinion, to get perfect results, it still takes a long time because in making something, it takes a lot of trial and error in order to make the software we make perfect and don't require a lot of maintenance and can run smoothly in the future. Thank you, sir.
Okay, good. Crypto, you actually bring up the very valid and important point, which is the balance between cost, time, and also the need of the company in the long run. Yes, sometimes we have to admit that at the beginning, the cost of doing outsourcing is significantly lower, but in the long run, and it has been proven by many US companies, it's not always the case. Okay. However, doing in-house development also have its weaknesses, if you like. Crypto already, I didn't just mention it, a few of them, but I'll add this. The expertise of developing a system, sometimes from a company like IBM or Hewlett Packard or Google, Facebook, they could not be matched by IT department in other companies. Okay, why? Because people in Microsoft, things like that, they work for developing software, while in companies like, say, Pertamina, IT department is just one department among others. Okay, it's not their core business, so they are underfunded. They probably understaffed also, so the quality of work probably will not be able to match the outsourcing supplier or vendor. Okay, and Erin just argued that the technician, the engineers or the IT staff will stay. It's not always the case. People come and go. Okay, and sometimes the person who handle the critical part of the system development left, and it will still the same as outsourcing. The expertise left, and that's it. The people who are still stay in the project, they will have difficulties in dealing with that. So yeah. So what's the best scenario in outsourcing or selecting development in-house? First, for non-essential systems, like for example for payroll, outsourcing is fine. Taxation, outsourcing is fine. Building office, outsourcing is fine. Okay. Even for email, for example, outsourcing is fine. But if you have specific needs, a very Let me give you the example of the President of the United States. Okay. And the exception was Donald Trump, because Donald Trump is not a normal, ordinary President of the United States. Once the President of the United States was sworn in, he or she will get specialized gadget. I think Obama, for example, before become a president, Obama was a BlackBerry aficionado. He mentioned it that he was addicted to BlackBerry. But once he became a president, he gave up his BlackBerry and replaced by special version of a mobile phone that being built by the U.S. Secret Service. So why? Because the cost of buying BlackBerry that you can buy and use it, it's too high for national security. Okay, that goes with the email. You can use Google, Gmail, Microsoft Outlook, or all any other email provider is cheap, fast, convenient, reliable. But if it's for security, then you have to go to using specialized email that developed in-house. Okay. Many years ago, Pak SBY was complaining that some foreign countries has been accused to monitoring Indonesian high-rank official, including Pak SBY himself, communication. Okay, so he complained a lot. But when he saw Pak SBY, he still used Nokia for his mobile phone. Okay. Some of high-ranking officials, when I was working with the Indonesian government, they use Yahoo or Gmail for their email instead of Indonesian official email services. That's why. Okay. So for security reason, for cost reason, like Erin and Luh, they are already mentioned. Yes, in-house development is better. Okay, thank you. That's a good point. Okay, so lastly, Hugo and Francisco.
Okay, in our opinion, in developing an inventory management system for a retail company, it is better to use an inventory management system built by ourselves, because we saw some of the advantages of building your own development system. Here are the advantages of building your own inventory management system. First is customization and scale. One of the biggest pros of building your own custom inventory management system is that it will include all the functionality you need to operate in exactly the ways you need it to. The software you end up will be tailored to your unique business model. And challenges. Total control over the development also allows you to add any new features when needed, so that your business can continue to run like a well-oiled machine. You can start with a prototype and grow the software as your revenues grow. Additionally, your employees will be able to give their feedback on what features are essential to streamline their flow of work. And then the second one, greater control. As the sole owner of the system, you will have full control over user options, security measures, and system updates. Plus, complete ownership gives you the option to market the product itself, offering your inventory management system as a service down the line. Next will be Ceko presented.
And yes, the third one is competitive edge. With a custom software solution, you can give a competitive advantage by leveraging the most efficient, connected, and scalable technology, helping our business get ahead of the game in our industry. This certainly provides an advantage for retail companies because our system can be our advantage compared to the other companies, because it can provide services that are more efficient and effective. The fourth is guaranteed integration. Build your own solution with your own system means you can ensure seamless integration with any existing software, tools, and process already in use. By creating our own system, we can integrate it with other systems that we make ourselves in order to increase the effectiveness and efficiency of our inventory management. This we cannot get from buying a system, because it will be difficult to integrate system that we buy outside with a system that we develop ourselves. That's it. That's it, sir.
Thank you, Hugo and Jeko. Hugo, actually, you raised a quite interesting point, control. Okay, I think Erin also mentioned something about it, but I didn't catch it at that time. But yeah, control over your system. Sadly, in this now, in this time, it's very hard to have complete control of our system. Why? Because when you build a system, you probably will use components from other parties, components that's provided by other parties. Why? Because if you build your own component from that, from scratch, it will take a very long time. Okay. For example, you probably saw this. If you go to a website and you hover the mouse pointer, the arrow in some area, then there will be option, there will be a caption text explaining what that's it. Okay. And if you use your mobile phone or tablet for browsing a web, there will be some small things that will make your experience in browsing that site much more convenient. Okay, that's not being built by the website developer. Usually they will use a components from somebody. Some of the component names was jQuery. So this is the story of my friend. He used to work for Optus, the second biggest telecommunication company in Australia. So for application that he developed for mobile phone, he used jQuery provided by Google. Okay, that's it. So and everything was working just fine, smoothly. You know how Google works. Okay. So, but one day, Google updated their jQuery version. So Google released new jQuery version, and this new version broke the application. Apparently the old version and the new version are quite different significantly. Okay. That's it. So and it's happened not only in IT or software development or system development. It also happened with manufacturing. If you look into German or European car, inside those cars you will find Japanese component, you will find Chinese components. Sometimes even you can find Indonesian components. Okay, so nobody have complete control over their products because their product was built using components from others. Okay. Okay, so that's good. Thank you. I'll share you this. Let me see if I can share. Okay. So, okay. Can you see this? Can you see the page?
Yes.
Okay, good. Part of system development work, and we will discuss this later, is to provide a report to the project stakeholder on the progress of the project. Like I said, building a system is a abstract activity. Sorry, it's building something abstract. So it's very difficult to show the progress. So it's need to be reported. For example, if you remember in accounting information system, you can draw a flow chart or data flow diagram. Okay, so yes, we designed the system like this, but in reality, was there any system that behave like that? Not necessarily. Okay, it's very difficult to translate data flow diagram into actual system. Okay, so this is an example of bi-weekly project progress report. So this is made by the developer that the Australian government hired to build the system for National Program for Community Empowerment, NPM, Rural Management Information System. So in their contract was built a clause that required them to report their progress bi-weekly. So at that time, every 2 weeks, I need to go to Jakarta and attend the presentation of this progress report, because my work was as the quality assurance. So I need to check whether they already did what they supposed to do, okay, and so on and so forth. And most of the time with project, we'll discuss this later with today's topic. The developer or the system builder will be paid based on project completion, stage completion. So if you finish stage 1, you get this much money. If you finish this stage, you get this much money, and so on and so forth. Okay. So this is, well, it's more than 7 years ago, but I think the example still relevant. Okay, let me expand it. So, well, unfortunately, the example is in Bahasa Indonesia, because it's supposed to be presented to the Ministry of Home Affairs, and government Indonesia regulation required all presentation and meetings conducted in Indonesia language. So yeah, so this is what they report. So there are actually 2 separate works inside this same project under the umbrella of this MIS redesign. Okay, one is building the application itself, the information system. The second is building data center for PMD to host the application. System need to be hosted in a computer. So the Australian government provided data center, built data center for Ministry of Home Affairs. So there are 2 work. This is the report for the data center, and this is the report for the application development. Okay, so this is the progress. Okay, until December 31st, 2013, January 14. Okay, so how much they accomplish, okay, within this stage, okay, and so on. So this is the S curve. The dark blue, or I don't know what it is, what's the color, but as the darker color means the plan, and the pink one is actually the realization, the actual work that has been done. So, and you can see here it's 80%, it's more than the target or the plan, which is in the week 17, it's supposed to be 76%, but the work has been done up until 80%. So it's ahead of schedule, which is good. The reason for that is this equipment. At that time, the equipment was imported from overseas, and it was calculated that it will take about 2 months for the equipment to come to Indonesia and clear the custom and everything and get out from the port harbor in Tanjung Priok. But is actually faster than we expected, 2 weeks faster. That's why during week 17 is already 80% rather than the target, which is 76%. Okay, so this is the application. Okay, the progress, technical design, module activity, system deployment, and so on and so forth. And this is the S-curve. As you can see, with the application, the actual progress is slower than the target. The target was supposed to be 85.5. The actual is 70.4. Why? Because sometimes here there are changes required by Ministry of Home Affairs. Okay, so and that changes actually slow down the development. At the beginning, the pink line are faster, or sometimes in this year it's same as the plan. But starting from this week, week 8, 9, 10, it start to get behind. Okay, so if you are project manager and you see this, you need to be aware that the project is actually slowing down, and we need to do something about it. Otherwise, the whole project will be late. Okay. So that's the bi-weekly report. Obviously, this bi-weekly report was done by professionals. The team actually has they had few people work as technical writer. Okay, so they had few people that actually typing in the report. Okay, creating the report for presentation. So they hired somebody specialized for that, not just one, maybe 2 or 3. Okay, so they are professional. That's what I was going to say. But I will require you from time to time to report your progress, either through assignment or like what we did today, or and next week, or by I scheduled a special session for you to present your progress. Okay, presentation or progress report can be done in 2 forms. First, submitting formal report in writing. Second, presenting to the stakeholder. And when the stakeholder says, okay, we approve this report, then they can get paid. If not, they have to make some improvement, they have to revise something, and then present that revision. Then after that, getting approval, then they can get paid. So that's our plan for the rest of this semester. So you'll need to create reports regularly, okay, rather than one big report at the end of the semester. Okay, so that's example of weekly progress report. Like I said, I'll use many examples from my past project to illustrate my point. Okay, now today we will discuss the project management. Okay, can you see this? Can you see my share screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good. If you lost it, if you can't see my screen, just let me know. Okay. So managing the information system project. A lot of failed project developing project for developing system development project failed because of poor project management. Okay, we'll talk about that later. And this is I'm not only getting this from literature. I think Erin already showed you how to use literature for report. This is good. But also the experience from local or Indonesian developers. A few years ago, I was teaching project management class in the master of informatics in our university, and a lot of them not all of them, all of the students, they were developers. So I can get their horror story about project management. Okay, so project management may be the most important aspect of system development. Okay, it ensures you meet customer expectation. Okay, and satisfying budget and time constraints. So you deliver what you promise, or you deliver what the customer requests within budget and within time. Okay, and PM skills are difficult and important to learn. Okay, there are actually certification for project management. There is a project management certification, but there are two standards that are different. Mostly in the US, they use project management called the PMBOK, Project Management Book of Knowledge, while in Europe, they usually project management tools called PRINCE, but we'll discuss that later. Next time, if we have time. Okay, so a system will be built based on requests, based on need, based on required services. Okay, so it could be proposed by somebody within a company, okay, or organization. It could be proposed by somebody else from outside the company, okay, vendors, perhaps suppliers, or business partner. It also could be initiated by requirement from the government. For example, I'll show you this. This is a system that being installed. Sorry, I need to share that. Share the screen. Okay. This is a integrated resource information system, or they call SISTER, from the Ministry of Education. It was forced by the government to all the university. Okay, so Atmajaya actually has to use this. Okay, so that's another source for system development. Okay, let me return to this. Okay, so the setting, and then most of the time there are plenty of system proposal being proposed or being submitted to the management for funding. Okay, but not all proposals of system development will be granted funding or resources. Why? Because any organization or company only have limited resources and limited time, so they have to create a priority. How? First, they need to conduct feasibility study. Is requested system development make sense in terms of economic and operational, and also others consideration that you remember. So it should be technically feasible, economically feasible, legally feasible, organizationally feasible, scheduling, and so on and so forth. Okay, so this is one example of system service request. Okay, so what is project? Okay, project is a planned undertaking of related activities to reach an objective that has beginning and an end. So project has a beginning and an end. So project has finite time. A year, a month, a decade perhaps, 100 years probably, but it has a finite range of time. Start sometimes and it will end sometimes in the future. Project management is a control process of initiating, planning, executing, and closing down a project. Remember these 4 stages: initiating, planning, executing, and closing down. Okay. So there's 4 major stages of project. So people who lead the projects and manage the projects called project managers. This is usually a system analyst with management and leadership skill responsible for leading project initiation, planning, execution, and close down. Why system analyst? Because the project manager need to understand system development stages, system development process. Developing system is not like developing building house, building roads, and any other physical project. What's the deliverable? The deliverables are many, but the most important part of the deliverable is a system that can be used by the organization. So if you look at this, project manager will have a lot of on their plate. Okay. So it's called the art of project management because not everybody can be a project manager. Sorry. What are the challenges? For example, technological change. When the team that developed Android operating system working at the beginning, their reference was BlackBerry, so mobile phone with small screen and physical keyboard without touch screen. But then one day in 2007, this team saw iPhone, the first iPhone being released with all touch screen, no physical keyboard. So they decided, because technology has changed, they decided to change the design of Android system. Instead of using physical keyboard, it will use touch screen and virtual keyboard. Customer and management expectation, because system is abstract, it's very difficult to get consensus on what the system should be or what the system should do. Okay, it's different from building. If you show them the design, the physical design, you show them the interior design, everything, they can see it and they can achieve consensus much more easy rather than showing them data flow diagram, showing them flow chart, which is probably confuse a lot of people. Documentation and communication, time, resource, and constraint. Like I said, for a project, there will be a finite time to be allocated, and also definitely there will be limited number of resources dedicated to that project. And the project manager should be able to finish the project within time and within budget. Methodology and tools, we will discuss it. What kind of tools? Should we use flowchart or should we use data flow diagram? Should we use this technology or should we use other technology? Okay. For example, if you develop application for iOS, you need to have Macintosh computers, but if you need to develop other, you don't need to have Mac, for example. Managing people, this is Erin on group 2 presentation already mentioned this. People come and go, and managing people is just full of headaches. Contractor and vendors, okay. Organizational change and complexity, and also the system development lifecycle. So you can see that the actual system development is only here, the others are not. Okay, but project managers need to deal with all of this at once. Okay. So this is the phases of project management process: initiation, planning, execution, and close down. So what is project initiation? This is to assess size, scope, and complexity, and also establish procedure. Okay. So you need to establish initiation team, relationship with customer, project initiation plan, management procedure, project management environment, and project workbook. Okay. We need to assess the scope, and we use the word or the term assess, not actually, because sometimes we don't know the scale of the project. Okay. When you see the history of Apollo project to land man on the moon, they at the beginning they didn't know the scale of the project, all the challenges that they will find, and how to cope with that. So they find that along the way. But initially we can assess something. Okay. This is a project workbook. It used to be actual workbook, physical workbook, but nowadays it has been replaced with computers. So second phase is project planning. Define clear, discrete activities and the work needed to complete its activities. So there are these tasks, define project scope, divide project into tasks, estimate resources, develop, and so on and so forth. So this is the planning details. The longer the project working, the more detail will be revealed. Okay. Some component of project plan, there are statement of work, baseline project plan, and preliminary budget. Okay. It could be changes, but because it's still preliminary, but you can get the rough estimation of the cost for that project. Work breakdown structure. This is where you divide and break the project into smaller, manageable, doable tasks. Okay, we will discuss that later. So there will be scheduling diagrams, Gantt chart, network diagrams, so on and so forth. Okay, this is the budget. Phase 3 is project execution. The plan that has been created on the previous phase will be put into action. Executed baseline project plan, monitor progress, manage changes, maintain project workbook. Maintain means that if you finish something, you have to change the status of that task to finish. When it's late, you have to update the timeline, so on and so forth. Okay, communicate project status. This is quite important. The progress report that I showed you earlier was the communication part of project status, and that's why it's important, okay, to keep all the stakeholders in the loop. Okay. So monitoring progress with Gantt charts. Okay. So this is how the communication. There are high formality communication methods like project workbook, newsletter, status report. That's the written report, specification and meeting minutes. However, we also need less formal communication method, like for example, meeting, seminar, workshop, bulletin board, brown bag lunches. You discuss the project over lunch, hallway discussion. Probably something with can be discussed over dinner, lunch, or even breakfast if that's possible. Okay. And finally, at the end of the project, you need to close down the project, bring the project to an end. The action is close down the project, conduct post-project review, and close the customer contact. Okay. So this is how you will represent and schedule the project. There are Gantt charts, network diagram. I will not discuss this in details. I'll only show you this Gantt chart. Okay, so Gantt chart show task duration, show time overrun, and show select time in duration. Okay, I'll skip this critical part because it's basically can be done by software. Okay, so a lot of project management software. Okay, the one that usually used in many project is Microsoft Project. The engineering faculty, they use Primavera, for example. However, unfortunately, for us, for you, not us, the university do have Microsoft Project license. The problem is, it's not for students. Okay, so the university only pay a limited amount of license for teaching purposes. Okay, so I could not ask you to use Microsoft Project, but later I will provide you with tools, or it's not tools actually, it's a guidance on how to use Microsoft Excel to replace Microsoft Project. Obviously, it will not as robust or as complete as Microsoft project, but that's, you know, considering Microsoft Excel is almost free, then it's a suitable alternative for our class. Okay, so this is how do you enter the project start day, entering tasks. So you can see this is the sequence of the tasks. Okay, and once you enter all the details about the project, like here, you can just create view network diagram. Okay. Okay. I will not go to the object-oriented because it's basically similar to that. Now, any question so far?
Sir,
Yeah, go ahead.
to ask, I think my name has not been updated to group.
Okay, okay. Yes, that's because you come in the middle of the assignment, Ivana. So I think it's unfair for Hugo and Jaco that they already work and you come. But your name is already in the group now. Okay, so for the next assignment, you will be included.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
No worries. Okay, any other question? Okay, so if you look at the the Kuliah site on this, I already set up an assignment. Okay, it's called project estimation. So you need to create some kind of rough estimation of the project. Okay, you can use this for project management phase. Okay, sorry. Starting from the, okay, so for example, starting from initiation, planning, execution, close down. Okay, so and the total weeks, the total time would be 24 weeks. Okay, you may use the whole week, the whole 24 weeks, or you can use part of it. But if you can only use 2 weeks for the whole project, then it's impossible. Okay, so so what you need to do is for phase 1, and you have this activities, initiation team, you can put days or week for each activities. Okay. For phase 1, for example, 2 weeks, and then initiation team, how many days, relationship with customer, how many days, things like that. So let's just say that you have 24 weeks from the 1st of April. Okay. And you need to take into account during that time for 24 weeks public holidays. Okay, so you need to consult the calendar and creating realistic project estimation. Okay, so you use the 4 phases of project name from initiation, how many weeks, planning, how many weeks, execution, how many weeks, and close down, how many weeks. And then for each phase, there are these sub-activities, initiation team, relationship with customer, how many days you will assign them, including the date. Okay, from when to what date to what date. Okay. Should describe each stage of project, how long would it take in weeks for the stage, but for the sub-activities, it should be on days. Who responsible for the stage and the expected outcome for each stage, not each sub-activities, each stage. Okay. Is that clear? Anything you want to ask about the assignment? It's due next week. Okay. like I said, it starts from April the 1st. You have maximum of 24 weeks for that. And you need to also calculate the holidays. Okay. Okay, if there is no question, that's it for today. Okay. Please work on the assignment and see you next week.